You can see with our extreme nav, the speed's way down and the exact location, the illumination from the night sun, from the law enforcement helicopter up above, and it looks like they threw out a spike strip because he's going so slow. He's staying in the same neighborhood, so that allowed officers just to simply try to disable the vehicle. That's what they want to do. They want to end this peacefully, and it does look like, at least on the right side of the vehicle, that those tires were damaged. We just had to do a 180 and we lost the signal for a second, but now back under 10 miles per hour. But we've seen these pursuits go on. Even with disabled vehicle tires. Well,
Rick, they might have been able to deploy a spike strip earlier as well, which means there might be some damage already to the vehicle. Look at the speeds. We've covered a lot of pursuits. This one, 15, 16, 17, 19 miles per hour. So it's not a high-speed pursuit. The question is, when does this come to an end, and how do police perhaps bring this to an end? Rick?
And this one is staying in the same neighborhood. So perhaps the individual driving this vehicle, again, allegedly wanted for some sort of traffic incident, perhaps a traffic collision, and did not yield when officers tried to pull over he or she at this time. But staying on surface streets in Montebello, that's near the 60 freeway, east of downtown Los Angeles, if you're unfamiliar with this location. But keeping the speed, stopping at the lights here. We haven't really seen any reckless driving as of yet.
But I'm curious, as the vehicle stopped here, if it was involved in a possible hit and run, do we see any front end, back end damage?
Not seeing that at this time, and that hasn't even been confirmed yet, so we're still waiting for that. You can see the driver now well illuminated, making a left turn now, Whittier Boulevard, Montebello Boulevard, making loops through Montebello, just east of downtown Los Angeles, near the 60 freeway, picking up speeds a little bit. Again, we saw the one spike strip deployed, and you had mentioned, Christine, that there's a possibility that they have deployed one prior to that as well, doing a 180 here. And again, the emblem on the back says something about a mariachi group. And does it appear that it's a female, or can you tell by looking in?
It's too hard for me to tell from here, but I'm wondering, a van like that, might there be other people on board? You're talking about being a mariachi band listed on the back there. You got to wonder if there's anybody else in that vehicle. We don't have that information from police there. And I don't know if the windows are so dark that police can't see in or not.
I'm sure people are calling that number now by it. You could see it clearly on the back of the back of the van there. Some sort of mariachi group here. That at least is what the vehicle may be used for. Who knows who's driving it? All we know is that this driver is staying in the same vicinity. Unclear if there's anybody else inside that vehicle. You could see the windows are tinted out, and officers do take all of that into consideration. Helicopter above, just a few hundred feet, illuminating the scene with what we call the night sun, coming to a stop at the stoplight. Now the driver's got a green light. Let's see what happens. But it does appear no damage to the vehicle. You asked that, Marla. I'm not seeing that either. You can see that helicopter whiz by underneath our Skyfox Extreme Nav system there. Now picking up yet again. It did appear, at least on the right side, on the passenger side of the vehicle, that there may have been at least one, perhaps both tires disabled.
Oh, okay. That was my next question. So you do think that a couple of tires did take the brunt of the spike strip?
There's another one, another spike strip right there. Because again, the driver's making it easy for the law enforcement because he or she just keeps doing loops around this same neighborhood in the San Gabriel Valley, in the Montebello area, being pursued by the Montebello Police Department for some sort of traffic violation.
Okay, so now we're getting a look at the
that tire's disabled too on the right. The front right looks low.
All right, so it's only a matter of time. We're doing loops, as you say, Rick. This is Whittier Boulevard and North 10th Street in Montebello. We're getting a zoomed in look here. Hard to tell if there's a passenger.
Doesn't look like it, at least in the front, but as you can see, the back windows. And there's the tires. You just saw how badly damaged those tires are. Another 180. Staying in the same area, Whittier Boulevard, through the community of Montebello. You could see the driver there, some sort of white hat, or like some sort of sweatshirt perhaps, covering his or her head at this time. Keeping to speeds for the most part. Again, our Extreme Nav system will give you not only the location, but the speed of this pursuit, and a relatively slow speed pursuit that's staying in the same area and not entering the freeway system.
So Rick, we're hearing that this vehicle has been going through Montebello and perhaps a bit of Whittier as well. Sometimes people know that they're going to jail, so they just want to extend their last minutes of, quote, freedom here, because they know they're not getting away at 5 miles per hour here, at least in that vehicle. So how do they bring this to an end, and where do they bring it to an end? And oftentimes we find suspects who know a neighborhood, might actually stop in that neighborhood, perhaps go to family or to a home that they live in. But this one's staying on commercial, busy streets.
And because it's in the same area, you could see a bunch of onlookers have set up at the intersections here, waving. You could see they're recording.
Oh, wow,
look at that big group right there. I believe there was a donut shop right there where everybody was standing outside. And they keep, this pursuit keeps passing that donut shop, keeps making loops on the same streets. Officers continue to throw out the spike strip to continue to try to disable those vehicles to bring this to a safe ending. And for the most part, compared to other pursuits we've seen, this driver has been keeping to the speed, although as I say that, now picking up speed just a little bit, and maintaining all the traffic stop signs and stoplights, because as I always mention, during these types of pursuits, the officers keep track of all of those violations and can write those pursuit suspects up for each violation, in addition to the most serious one, evading police and reckless driving. Even though this individual doesn't appear to be driving all that recklessly, they are if they are being pursued and not pulling over and abiding by what officers want.
Well, we are hearing, Rick, from viewers who are sending us the phone number that is clearly visible on the back of this SUV. Our assignment desk did go ahead and call that number, just so everyone knows, and there was no answer.
Okay.
So no one picked up the line.
No recording?
No recording. Okay. We did effort it. We're seeing another U-turn here. So just literally doing a circle.
That's exactly right. And, you know, in situations like this, we just don't know the mental stability of the individual that is being pursued. If anybody's running from their police, they're typically not in the right frame of mind. They're anxious, and officers don't know what they're dealing with. I mean, every pursuit suspect they have to assume is armed, they're dangerous, they're running from police, that vehicle's a deadly weapon, and they just want to bring this to a safe end. There's the donut shop, there's all the people, there it is, Miss Donut right there. They continue to make that wraparound on Whittier Boulevard through the Montebello area.
Rick, I'm wondering, with a vehicle like this, would a pit maneuver work? Now, obviously, when you have a location like that donut shop and you have crowd there on the sidewalk and people standing out there, you wouldn't do a pit maneuver in that area. People right there on that sidewalk. But also, that's a bigger vehicle than, say, some other types of cars, and we don't know if there's anybody else involved. That is a big vehicle. There could be other passengers. We've seen even pursuits with children in the back seat. So maybe police have a better idea as to who they're dealing with and what they're dealing with.
Looks like stopping. Here's the 180 that this driver has been doing. And to answer your question there, Christine, that typically the threshold of doing the pit maneuver, the pursuit intervention technique, would be 30 miles or less. But yes,
you got the less
look at that,
right here.
Look at that. There's that damaged tire, by the way. And this driver has, for the most part, been going under 30 miles an hour. They may have more information, the officers do, than we do on who this suspect might be, whether or not it's a stolen vehicle. I know that we talked about the emblem on the back window of this van. It's very possible that it could be stolen. We just don't know at this time. All we heard that there was some sort of traffic incident that occurred. The Montebello Police Department lit up this suspect. They failed to yield, and the pursuit is on.
All right, so we're hearing front tires are out. That's after a few spike strips were deployed. We've seen 2 on our air in the short time that we've been on with this pursuit. We're seeing this suspect in this van literally go in circles through intersections, making a U-turn and circling back. You would think, Rick, it'd be pretty predictable at this point in time to deploy another spike strip or use a pit.
There's probably been at least 3 spike strips deployment, possibly more, prior to us picking up this pursuit a short time ago. It looks like we're starting to see perhaps a couple little sparks, meaning they're down to the wheel well there of this. Both of those front tires completely shattered there. He's just doing, and it appears it's a male. Again, we're just speculating at this time. We don't know if there's anybody else, but he or she keeps looking back, seeing what's going on. See, he just doesn't quite know what he wants to do at this point, or she at this point. But staying in the same area, making it easier for officers. They're deploying officers on all the intersections around the area, trying to keep people off the street, because a lot of people, it appears, have come out, even at this hour as we approach 11 o'clock at the end of a holiday weekend. There it is. That vehicle came out into the intersection there and was almost hit, actually. But you could see the night sun from that helicopter illuminating the scene. They have as much intel on this vehicle as they can possibly have at this time. There's another, look, there was another officer, another spike strip. There you go.
You know what? The thing that is so bothersome about something like this slow speed pursuit here, is the wasted manpower of our police resources.
Oh, well, look at this. Up on, maybe he's losing
losing control.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was aiming at these people. If you are living in an area like this, that's just not something safe to do, because you just don't know what you're dealing with. Whether you're in the car or you live nearby, if you're a pedestrian, stay back. You don't know how dangerous this person is. Give the officers plenty of space. Watch it here on Fox 11 or streaming on our Facebook or our website, and you can get all the information there, because you're endangering yourself. Some people have brought out their kids as well. This car could lose control. The driver could start driving erratically and pick up speed, hop the curb, because now that vehicle is disabled. Still staying in the same area, though. Whittier Boulevard now turning on Taylor Avenue, a side street there off of Whittier Boulevard. And we'll continue to watch and see how this ends, but he's made it very easy to disable this vehicle.
All right, Rick, we're going to actually stay with this here on our foxla.com. And we're going to take a quick break. It's a slow speed pursuit in the same area.
Pit. Oh, are we going to see a pit right here?
Looks like they're going to try a pit. They may be trying to pit. Let's watch this. Yep. Here it goes. He's picking up speed. He's going to try to bump it and spin that vehicle out. Here we go. There we go.
Yep, there we. Oh, wow.
Nope, not quite. Oh, and he hits another vehicle. Wow. Let's see what happens if he can block this suspect in now.
And will the suspect surrender?
Now he's backing up. Now he's backing up. Now this is a situation where this suspect is using the vehicle as a weapon. It's Montebello Police Department, MTB, you could see. That's a K9 unit there. He is being instructed, that suspect, clearly to hands up, get out, and he's not doing that at this point. Unclear if there's anybody else in the back seat.
Hooded sweatshirt. Now we're getting a clear look at that.
It does appear more like it is a male at this time. That has not been confirmed, and we still don't have confirmation on why this pursuit was initiated. We just heard that it was some sort of traffic violation, possibly, and it was a failure to yield. But it stayed primarily in the Montebello area. They were the agency, and you could see guns drawn here, and they're giving him direct commands to get out of the vehicle, hands up, and he's trying to move the vehicle still, it appears. But the tires are clearly disabled. He's boxed in. He backed up into that officer there. He has damage to the vehicle now because the pit maneuver threw him into a parked vehicle. Hopefully nobody was nearby and got hurt.
Was it, still trying to get away.
Police.
Was it a parked vehicle, or was that a vehicle that was in motion?
It appeared that it was a parked vehicle. I can't confirm that, but it looked like it was a parked vehicle. Perhaps even that white van right there. Or that utility truck. I can't tell exactly in the upper right corner of your screen there.
You got to think this truck, this motorist here, is not really going to be going anywhere now. So the question is, how long do they stay inside that vehicle? And again, we don't know if there's anybody else inside that vehicle with this person. Police would need to clear that vehicle. So that puts them at risk there. Now, the question is, too, does the person have a weapon? So police need to keep their distance and stay safe on this one. But you have to wonder why a driver is not going to get out of the car here, not put their hands out the window, drop the keys out, get out of the vehicle. What state of mind do we have here?
And we don't know. That's just the question. And that's what law enforcement agencies have to deal with when people are running from police, when they are evading police, when they're just not pulling over. And clearly, this individual chose to stay in the same general area, Montebello Boulevard, Whittier Boulevard, through the Montebello area near the 60 freeway. That's a community a bit to the east of East LA and downtown Los Angeles. But this pursuit, at least the portion of the pursuit in which this vehicle was moving, has come to an end via the pit maneuver and via a number of spike strips that were deployed. And the suspect made it easy for those officers to deploy countless spike strips because he or she kept making turns in the same general area. Bottom line, they have directed this driver to get out, give themselves up, and he or she isn't doing it at this time. Night sun above from the helicopter, units on the ground from the Montebello Police Department. We believe with our extreme nav system, this is Taylor right off of Whittier Boulevard. And it does look like that white utility truck, that contractor's vehicle in the upper right corner of the screen was hit by that vehicle after the pursuit intervention technique, the pit maneuver. And you can see it in the upper right corner. It looks like the front left tire looks, to see that just at the very top of the monitor, it looks like it's askew, it's bent partially. Hopefully nobody was in that vehicle. We didn't see anybody on the surface streets there. It appeared that everybody had gathered on either Whittier Boulevard, Montebello Boulevard, watching this pursuit as it unfolded live.
So this is interesting to watch the officers' demeanors. They're going back and forth. Clearly, they're making communication with the suspect, telling this person to get out of the vehicle. That's not happening. So how does this unfold, Rick? Because it always gets, the longer we go on with this and the longer that the suspect remains stubborn and in the vehicle, almost the more dangerous it becomes.
And we've seen a minute, we've seen an hour, we've seen 8 or 9 hours with whole freeways being shut down. And in this situation, we just don't know. Sometimes they get tired, they get hungry, they're done, they know they can't move the vehicle.